Hi everyone! In this video, we're gonna make the Space Invaders game. It is a very classic game that was released in 1978. In it, the player controls a spaceship that moves laterally at the bottom of the screen and shoots at the descending horde of aliens. The enemies gradually advance and speed up as they are eliminated. Space Invaders was a revolutionary success, and it's something that everybody loves playing. And today, we're gonna make it here in Scratch. So if you are ready, let's get started. To begin with, as we usually do, we're gonna create the sprite. This is going to be the alien, and the spaceship will be this one. Very simple. So let's go to Scratch. Let's delete the cat, and we're going to add an object. I'm going to use the technique I explained in my pixel art tutorial, which is convert to bitmap, zoom in a lot, and now by using this 1 pixel wide, we can start drawing. Let's begin with the spaceship, which is going to be this green, and could be something like this. I'm not gonna spend a long time on it. Could be something like that. By choosing this, we're gonna center it. And there we go. Let's change the name, spaceship. As you see, it is tiny. It is tiny because we have zoomed in a lot. So now change the size to, well, something like 400 or even 500. Until you see it has a reasonable size. And now let's paint the alien. Again, convert to bitmap, zoom in, take the line. It is going to be white, but drawing with a white color here is a bit difficult, so choose purple or, well, any other color, and at the end we will change the color, okay? And once we have it, as we did before, center it. And this is something that might happen when working with very tiny objects. So you have to fix it again. But don't worry, this is pretty normal. That's gonna be alien. Let's try with 500. No, even more. 600. And now, to make an animation here, with a right-click duplicate, we're gonna change the position of the second one. So, I'm gonna remove the arms and the feet, or the legs, or whatever that is. I'm gonna put them that way, a little bit more, and that way. And now, we can move it. Once we have this, let's paint it white. Also the second one, don't forget it. Obviously now you can't see it, but let's go to backdrops and let's paint this backdrop black. Just by putting a black square here. This is going to be the backdrop to play, but we're gonna create 2 more backdrops. So let's duplicate. The second one is going to be the victory backdrop. And the third one is going to be the game over backdrop. So let's go to victory. Let's add some text. Let's type in victory. Maybe this pixel font could be good for this game. You can use this to copy. Come here, paste, and now with a double click, you change the text. And there we go. Very fast, and we have the 3 backdrops, these 2 sprites, and now let's make the bullets. Well, bullets or missiles, it depends if you're from the USA or from England. Okay, let's paint. The one from the spaceship should be green. So let's pick that green. And now let's make it. In this case, you don't need to convert to bitmap, okay? Just put it here. Ah, I didn't change the color. I have to pick this color again. And now paint it. And it is over here. Maybe I should make it a bit longer. Okay. That's good. So let's call it missile. I'm gonna use the American pronunciation. That's gonna be spaceship missile. And now, well, you can even duplicate the alien one. And in this case, oops, sorry. This one is gonna be white. Here it is. Okay, and now, having the object and having the backdrops, let's start coding. Let's begin with the spaceship, which is probably the easiest. When green flag clicked, forever. If key right arrow pressed, we're gonna move it right. You know that's the X axis. So we're gonna change X by, and let's try with 5. Okay. So now let's duplicate. And if left arrow pressed, -5. And that way I can move it left and right. Perfect. The next step is shooting. To do so, I'm gonna create another program here, which is gonna be working simultaneously. And forever, if key space pressed, for example, you can shoot with your space bar. We're going to create a clone of the spaceship missile. So in control, we're gonna create a clone of myself, but we're going to add a wait so that we cannot be shooting constantly. I haven't put this here because if I do, when I press space, I have to wait for 1 second. So I'm not gonna be able to be moving the spaceship. That's why it has to be a different program, okay? So now let's go to this spaceship. Oh, by the way, create a clone of, not myself, spaceship missile. And now let's go here. The original one is gonna be hidden. So when green flag clicked, we are going to hide it. Hidden. And the ones we are going to code are the clones. So when I start as a clone, this is the one that we're going to be showing. But before we show it, we're going to place it in the spaceship because that's the initial position of that missile. So go to spaceship. Let's try. I'm gonna press spacebar and move this. And here it is. But look, it is pointing to the right. What happens if I make it point upwards? Which is what it has to do. Look. When it points upwards, it rotates 90 degrees and it looks like it's pointing to the right, but it's not. How can we fix it? There are 2 ways. You can go to the costume and initially make it pointing to the right, or maybe this option is easier. We're going to set rotation style to don't rotate. So that way, when I shoot, it appears here. It's going to be pointing upwards because we have this, but it hasn't rotated. So now it has to move. It is going to move at a speed of 10 steps, but that's something you can modify if you feel like. and it's going to be moving until it touches the edge or the alien. So let's put it here. Repeat until touching the edge or touching the alien. And now, well, let's try it first. As you see, it stops if touching the edge or the alien. But we don't want them to get stuck there. If touching edge, we're going to delete this clone. Let's see. Perfect. But what if touching the alien? Don't we want to delete the clone? Yes, but not instantly. Why not instantly? Because if the clone is deleted instantly, sometimes the alien does not detect it is touching the missile. So the alien is not destroyed. So what are we going to do? If touching edge, delete the clone automatically. But if touching alien, before we delete the clone, as we want the missile to be hidden, we're going to set its ghost effect to 100. So it won't be visible, but it will be touching the alien, and the alien will have 0.2 seconds, which is enough, I promise, to detect it is being touched by it. And after that, we will delete the clone. Look, the effect is the same. It looks like it is deleted automatically, but it isn't, because its ghost effect is set to 100, and after 2 seconds, the clone is deleted. So now what is the alien going to do? That's where we're going to code now, which is the most difficult part of this game. So let's go to the alien and the aliens. When green flag clicked, the original is gonna be hidden, and we're gonna create clones of itself. But if I do something like this, repeat 20 times, create clone of myself, those clones are created very fast, but not instantly, so we see how they are appearing one by one. If we want them to be created instantly, we're going to make a block, and this block is going to run without screen refresh. It's gonna be named create clones, for example, and that is going to be there. And we can put here create clones when green flag clicked. But now, where are the clones going to go? Well, they are going to go to a random position. Not exactly random, because we don't want any aliens at the bottom of the screen. So look, again, placing the aliens has to be done instantly, so we're gonna make another block, which will be place clones, run without screen refresh, because if you don't do this, I mean, we're wasting our time making these blocks. We could put everything down there, okay? These clones are going to be this. They are going to go to, and we're going to use random numbers. The horizontal position, the X, will be from the left to the right, no problem. It goes from negative 240 to 240, but to leave a margin, we could put something like that. But the vertical position is the important point. Imagine we want our clones from here, for example, which is Y43, would be a little bit more, Y60, up to Y165. So, from 60 to 165. But what happens if two aliens are on the same place? We're going to do this. This, after being done once, is going to be repeated until these clones aren't touching white color. which is the color of these aliens. Yeah, white color. And this way we make sure they are not on top of another alien. So, when are the clones be placed? The clones are going to be placed when they start as a clone. But before that, we have to show them. Because if not, they are not going to be touching white color. So, this is the idea. And by clicking on the green flag, in all of them created. If I click again, as you see, they are created. Although you might think they are touching each other, they're not. There's a small distance, it could be 1 pixel, but there's a small distance, okay? And now after that, we can make our clones move. They are pointing to the right side. They're gonna be moving slowly. And that's gonna happen forever. And obviously they are going to bounce when touching the edge. But as you see, when they touch the edge, they turn around. So let's use the same block we've used before. Do not rotate. And that way, they're moving. To add the animation, very easy. When I start as a clone, forever. Next costume every, I don't know, 0.3 seconds. Okay, if they are too fast, you can change this number. Maybe in the real game is something like 1 second. Okay, so after moving, what do they have to do? Well, we know that if they are touching our spaceship missile, they have to die. But again, instead of deleting them instantly, we're going to set ghost effect to 100. We're going to wait 0.2 seconds so that the spaceship also realizes it is touching the alien and the spaceship also deletes itself. And now delete this clone. And that way, when we shoot, now we can delete aliens. What else do we need? Okay, we need to count the aliens left, so that when there are 0 aliens left, we win and we switch back up to victory. To count the aliens, I'm gonna make a variable called aliens left. And at the beginning, we're going to set, well, when we click here, we're going to set aliens left to 0 at the beginning of the game. But as I create those aliens, I'm going to change aliens left by 1. If this is repeated 20 times, when clicking on the green flag, this number should be 20. And it is. And now, when the aliens are touching the spaceship missile, or the other way around, they are being touched by it, we're going to set aliens left by -1. So when shooting, as you see, this number decreases. And one more condition here, if aliens left equals 0, we're going to switch back up to game over, to victory, and we're going to stop all. Okay, do not put the stop all outside the condition because you're going to be stopping the game at the very beginning and it won't work. If we're switching backdrop to victory, we have to explain our game to switch backdrop to play when the game starts. And the last thing, when do we lose? Okay, let's go to the spaceship and let's put, if the spaceship is touching either one alien missile or if it is touching an alien, we are going to switch backdrop to game over, and we will also stop the game. And now we have to configure these alien missiles, but they are created by these aliens. So let's make the aliens shoot. To make the aliens shoot, when I start as a clone, forever, they're gonna be creating clones of alien missile. But before that, they're going to wait. How long are they going to be waiting? Because there are 20 of them. So if they only wait for 1 second, it's gonna be almost impossible to survive. So they're going to be waiting for, and I'm gonna use a random number, from 10 to 20 seconds. Remember, there are 20 aliens, so there will be a lot of shots. But to make it even more interesting, I'm going to do this. 100, 200, divided into 10. Why? Because this way, the number of obtained will be, for example, 13.6. It means that the random number has been 136, but divided into 10, it is 13.6. And that way, this is even more random, okay? And now to configure the alien missiles, I'm going to pass this program from the Spaceship 1 to the alien missile, because it's going to be very similar. But you're going to see that we need to do something else. Because at the beginning, when I start as a clone, it has to go to spaceship. In this case, it has to go to alien. But which alien? The original alien, the one that is hidden? No, it has to be the specific alien, the specific clone that has created this alien missile. So how do we know which clone that is? Look, I made up this technique. I'm gonna make 2 variables, alien X and alien Y. So right before creating the clone, we are going to save the position of this alien, of this clone, actually. So we are going to set alien X and alien Y to the current position, X position and Y position, of the alien, the clone, that is creating the missile. So this missile is not going to go to alien, but it's going to go to alien X, alien Y. And after that, we show it. It's going to be pointing in the opposite direction, because we want this missile to move downwards. We're going to repeat this movement until it is touching the edge or touching the spaceship. If touching the edge, delete this clone. And if touching the spaceship, well, we could put the same thing we put here if you want to. But it's not gonna be necessary because it is here. So we can keep this. And let's try. Okay, we can hit the aliens. And if they shoot, game over. As you see, they are very fast. So my recommendation is that instead of 10 steps, you set it to 5 steps. And that's all. Let's hide these 3 variables because they shouldn't be visible there. And the game is finished. Well, almost finished. Because we also have to make the aliens move downwards little by little, which is something that happens in the real game. That's very simple. In Alien, here in this program where we have all the movement, we're going to add change y by, and let's put a very small number, it has to be negative, so that they move downwards, and it could be 0.05. And you will see that little by little the aliens are going to be moving downwards. Let's try the game. And do you know why the backdrop hasn't switched off victory? Look, it is a very small thing. What's the problem? if this clone is deleted, the rest of the program is not put into practice. So this is something that should be done before the clone is deleted. And now let's try our final game. And there we go. Victory. Okay guys, this is the end of this tutorial, but not the end of the series, because I will have to make at least one more video in which I will explain how to make this game a little bit more challenging, okay? We will add some more aliens in the following levels, also we will make the aliens faster, and so on. But for the moment, try to make this. If you have any problem, write in the comments, and well, I will be willing to answer any questions that you have. See you guys, bye bye!